Hi, welcome to my channel again. Got some more Elvis goodies to show you, things that have arrived in the mail. Now, among the many YouTube channels I follow relating to Elvis, there's one called 100% Pure Elvis, and the gentleman who does that is in the process of going through all his CDs, LPs and everything else he's got. And it's really great because it gives me incentive to have a closer look at what I've got and think what I would like to add to my list. My collection. This is an LP set. It's a Reader's Digest LP set. I think it was 1987 he was brought out. And when he previewed it, I thought, oh, I've got to have this. It's so beautiful. Where can I find it? And he said it's fairly rare. It's fairly expensive. So I went hunting, and I finally found it in a little country town in Victoria for $46 plus postage. But I was absolutely wrapped. It's a beautiful set. So that's a box set, like so. You take the box off, and inside you've got a booklet, or an LP size booklet, with a lot of detailed information about each song that's on the CDs. Oh, sorry, the CDs and the LPs. So you've got photos and information. It's terrific. Now let me see what it says. There's oh, upside down. Now to see. Okay, seven LPs. Elvis Live Remembering the 50s, Elvis Live Remembering the 60s, Elvis Live Remembering the 70s. Early Elvis, 68 TV special, country favourites, Can't Help Falling in Love, Indescribably Blue, Elvis's later hits, and In Reflective Mood. I'm not going to read out all the songs. And they're different recording locations. So each LP looks pretty much the same in this pretty paper cover. I don't know whether these are the same as what the guy had in his channel. But let me see, they're produced in Australia. Different countries have different labels, don't they? Anyway, so yeah, they're all pretty much the same. They look, but I've played 3 of them already. Absolutely love it. Oops. Oh, it takes ages for me to get myself organised now, and then I stuff it. Anyway, we'll get there. That's stuffed again, I think. Right. So, yeah, well worth having and well worth the money I paid for it. So, thank you, 100% Pure Elvis. I really appreciated that. Now, in the mail today, I received a CD. This is Elvis in His Own Words, Disc 1. Now, you might remember if you've been looking at my videos, I got Disc 2 in the mail from somebody about a week or two ago, and I was wondering what happened to Disc 1. So I Googled it and I found it, and here we are. Again, Elvis in His Own Words, 1 hour introduction and the earlier Louisiana Hayward shows. Young Elvis on the road, interviews in Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi, Florida and Louisiana. Elvis goes to New York, Elvis in Canada, Elvis in the Army, talks with Dick Clark, press conference leaving Germany, and Elvis arrives home at Graceland. Look, I know there's a lot of it elsewhere on the internet and on other CDs, but hey, as I always say, it's Elvis. Now this book isn't about Elvis, but I borrowed it from the library a couple of weeks ago, and it's absolutely fascinating. It's about the songs that are the original songs and then are covered by other people, and there's quite a bit. Elvis is mentioned actually quite a lot in this book, but the first chapter is about Hound Dog, and there's you might have seen it on YouTube or I think in Elvis Week in Memphis just recently. There was a chat host, some guy talking about Hound Dog and the beginnings of it. But, where are we? Summertime. Okay, Elvis Presley, Hound Dog. Big Mama Thornton cover, song Hound Dog, written by blah blah blah, first recorded by. Got some good photos, that's all Big Mama Thornton of course. But there's quite a lot of interesting information that I actually had no idea about the background of it. Elvis didn't actually take his version from Big Mama Thornton. He took it from Freddie Bell and the Bell Boys, who we saw in Las Vegas at the Frontier Hotel when he was there in 1956. So, yeah, that's interesting. But there's a lot of stuff about it. Yeah, a lot of pages. Yeah, and through the book he's mentioned again different songs that other people did, and he's covered them. A lot of it is more recent singers, which doesn't interest me, but I just thought this book was worth getting because it's just a lot of information about songs and a lot of background stuff that, you'd never know otherwise if you didn't have a book like that. So, yeah. Another book I got yesterday was Joel Williamson's Elvis Presley: A Southern Life. Now, I'm a bit less than halfway through this. I've browsed through it, and it's difficult reading. At first I thought I wouldn't like it. It's written by a university professor who studied the culture of the South and the impact it's had. And really, it's really hard to describe. The stuff in this book, it's about Elvis's actually sort of Elvis's life story in his own words, not this guy's words anyway. Some of it's a bit, but he's done a lot of research into Elvis's beginnings, and the stuff about when Vernon was in jail, and the impact it had on Elvis and Gladys, and when he came out of jail and they struggled and they moved around, I remember, when was it? One of Elvis's. That's right, Vernon. The people that worked for Vernon in the office behind Graceland used to say he was moody and bad-tempered and surly and that. And apparently Elvis he heard somebody say something, and he said, "You don't know what my daddy went through." And you don't think any more about it. Think, oh, okay. But reading this book, it gives you a whole new understanding on Vernon himself, why he was the way he was, and the way Elvis was brought up. And it's really fascinating. There's quite a few photos in it, but it's different from anything else I've read. And like I said, it's tough reading because there's a lot of stuff in there that's how can I say? I'm going to say controversial, but it's background and the way things were in the South. That's what the guy really has written the book about. The way things were in the South before the Second World War, or during the Depression and afterwards. And Elvis's own attitudes, why he was always so polite to people at the upbringing and stuff, and how he was at the bottom of the ladder and the hierarchy as far as the population, I suppose, goes. Here you have classes of people. Because his father had been in jail, him and his family were class is very low class. But yeah, look, it's, like I say, I'm stumbling over my words here because I can't describe it. I have to read bits out to you, but I'm not going to do that. There's too much. But it's a fascinating book, and I would say if you just want to learn a bit more about the background of Elvis and his family, go for it. It's interesting. Okay, now the next book I'm going to show you is called, I'm going to move this camera around and try and prop the book up. Oh, Elvis A Humanitarian. I have been talking for ages about people should make a book about what Elvis did that hasn't been publicised. And this book is sort of it. It's a lot of text too, but photos, and it's photos of Elvis with disabled children, with disabled people, receiving awards at various functions, doing concerts to raise money for the cancer, the March of the Dimes, and so on. And it's done in date chronological order too. So it is fascinating. A lot of photos of Elvis I've never seen before. There's copies of newspaper prints and so on. But yeah, look, a really great book and long overdue. It obviously doesn't cover everything that he did, but it mentions things that they know of. It doesn't cover what he did gave to his fans. This is more in the public arena, which was a lot anyway. Not scoffing that's for sure. But yeah, terrific photos, a lot of text. Yeah, it's again too much to say thankful to the fan clubs all over the world. The websites are an invaluable source. Thank yous to people. know there was a star in Las Vegas to Elvis, isn't that neat? Star on Las Vegas Walk of Fame. I knew the Hollywood one, but didn't know there was one for Elvis in Las Vegas. So, the cars he gave away and the jewellery, and right through his life he was a very caring, compassionate man, and this book is a really lovely, lovely tribute. So again, if you can find it, when was it published? I think it was that long ago. Oh, 2019. No, that's not too long ago. Printed in America. This book is one of a series of scholarly works which explores Elvis Presley's career and his impact on society here in the USA and abroad. It's a non-profit endeavour, and each book will be sold at cost. Yeah, so, well, like I said, really terrific. Now the next two books are really, really big, so I'm going to cut this video off and start again. But before I do, one of my followers, Dina, pop over. I'm not sorry, Dina, I'm sorry if I've got your name wrong. She mentioned that on the last video she saw a picture, or she could see a bit of a picture of a bird on a branch, and she did I draw it. Well, Dina, no I didn't, but I said I would let you know more about it. So this is the picture you were talking about. It's actually pencil drawing done by a professional artist here in Melbourne of Guldian finches, which are an Australian native finch. Now, Ken and I bred finches, finches and parrots, Australian native finches and parrots in our backyard, walk-in aviaries, and we had these. And the lady who did this drawing, she did another one some time ago, and it was at an art gallery, and Ken saw it, and he started picking holes in it. He was saying, nah, that's all, she's, I don't know who this woman is who painted this, but she's got it all wrong. The colours are wrong, the tails are wrong, rah, rah, rah. Anyway, Janet, the artist, was standing behind us, and I looked behind her and said, shut up, Ken. I said, Janet, the artist is standing right behind us. And Janet said, no, no, no. She said, I need to know these things. I only do my paintings of wildlife from photos and from looking at the animals in the zoo from a long distance. And Ken said, well, he says, how about you do another painting, come round to my place, walk into the aviaries and get close up to the birds and you'll see. So she did. She came around one day, she walked into the aviaries and took heaps of photos. Went away, and a couple of months later she contacted us, and she says, well, I've done another picture, what do you think? Anyway, Ken met with Ken's approval, so we bought it. But yeah, you wouldn't think it was pencil, would you? It was, she does a lot of, let me see, get a bit closer. Very, very fine work. And they're beautiful birds, they're really lovely. Anyway, there you are, Dina, I hope that meets with your approval. I do a bit of painting and sketching, but nothing to that quality. I'll be back soon with another video. Bye for now.